Hey content creators, so I've been playing around on the internet again and this question came up yet again. Hey Nina, do you have a class on Canva? And I actually have tons of content all over YouTube on Canva, but when I looked, a lot of it is outdated, like really outdated. So what did I do? I answered the call. And this is actually mostly from my TikTok followers who asked me about Canva and asked me to put certain things on my YouTube channel. So, hey, old people TikTokers. If you're not following me on TikTok, it's the same as everywhere else, Socially Nina. But today what we're gonna do is start with really setting up your Canva for success. What does that mean? A lot of people dive into Canva, they try to figure out how to create graphics, and they get to this point where they're frustrated. They either have to stop and figure out graphics or colors or all of that kind of stuff. So instead of me diving into how to create graphics, I'm actually going to create a series of videos that are going to be very, very, very detailed. In fact, this video is going to be almost 1 hour long. It's about 45 minutes of training. Why? Because I want to show you how you can really use Canva professionally to create professional looking designs, but there's some back end setup that you're going to want to do. Now, even if you've been using Canva for years, I would suggest that you sit down and go through this video because I'm going to show you a lot of shortcuts, tips, tricks, and time-saving techniques. And I mean really, really time-saving techniques that are going to save you time and frustration. So grab your pencils, your pen. I would, if you can put your YouTube video on your TV, I would do that, and then sit at your computer and pause it and go back and forth. Also, I do have down below, there's going to be an agenda of everything we're talking about so you can jump through, but feel free to watch it all the way through and then come back. So this video is going to be about setting up a pro account and actually using it and to set up your brand kit. We're going to be talking about how to use the different elements, how to upload and organize your own stock images, how to set up your brand colors, all of those things. But before we go on, let me just quickly tell you who I am. If you're new to my channel, my name is Socially Nina. I basically help not so techie people learn how to use technology. It could be anything from social media, Facebook, YouTube, even Microsoft. I teach people. My purpose in life is to teach the world. So basically what I do is I take you through in a way, if you're a beginner, that it's not overwhelming. It's bite-sized steps. So I would appreciate it if you subscribe. And one way to watch my videos is to make sure and go directly to the description and look at playlists. A lot of times I will put together sets of information that will help you learn something as a whole, not just little pieces of things. So make sure to always check my descriptions for links and information and other videos that are related. Or if you're looking for something in particular, you can just go to the top of YouTube and search for Socially Nina and that topic. I have a lot of content, so it could be something like Facebook or Canva or PicMonkey or Instagram or whatever it is, but that's how you find my content. All right, let's get into our lesson today. The lesson today is about setting up your Canva Pro. Now, I do have a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so that means if you do actually purchase, I will get a piece of that, and that helps me create free videos just like this. But it has a 30-day trial. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. I'll take you through the sign up and everything. Make sure you ask questions and subscribe and like, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so if you follow the link that I gave you, it will take you here so you can actually make a choice on which pro account to select. Now, if you have a free account, you can still follow some of the things that I'm doing and actually a lot of the strategy that I'm using to create Canva graphics. However, some of the features may not be available, and I'm not going to necessarily point that out unless I know offhand. But here, let's go through a couple of things. We're going to do this quickly. Then we're going to move through and set up an account. But I do want to show you a couple of highlights that people miss. One, of course, you can save some money if you do an annual account. One of the things I want to bring out is if you're a business and you actually have an enterprise, they have different enterprise levels. Also, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. A couple of things that you need to know. If you're a teacher or a nonprofit, you actually have specific programs that you can apply to for free subscriptions. So, or specific programs. So make sure and scroll down here if you're a teacher or a nonprofit and do it that way. There are a lot of software companies that are offering discounts for nonprofits and teachers. All right, let's go. So these are some of the things that you can make online with Canva. Now, if you've used Canva for a long time, you may think you know everything, but I suggest you kind of go through what's available. I do have some resources on my blog that go through some of the additional resources like picking your font, selecting colors. They have a lot of tools that are associated with Canva in addition to the templates that people don't know about. All right. So a couple of things that you're going to want to do, I'm going to go down here, is the magic resize. What this is, it means is if you create, say, a banner for Facebook and you want all of your graphics to look the same, there's this magic button that will resize it so you can have an Instagram post, a Twitter banner, Facebook post. All of them have the same graphic items, but it's been resized so you don't have to create separate items. So that's a time saver. Another thing is transparent background, which is a huge thing for me, especially if you're doing things like thumbnails or creating your own logos. A lot of times you're going to want the background to be transparent, and you're going to want to pull the background out when you have pictures of yourself. Branding, branding, branding. If you have pictures of yourself, this will help you reuse them. Team folders are great when you have an assistant or if you bring in someone from Fiverr. You never want to give out your own password, so you want to create your own folder for them to actually see where you have your logos, maybe your stock images, different brand photos, whatever it is, you can organize your images in here. The great thing is when you sign up for the 30-day trial, you also get access to these. Now, GIF and Movie Animator are great, especially if you're going to create Instagram posts, stories, Twitter, anything that's going to be social media, things that are eye-catching. It's super duper easy to do that. And in fact, it doesn't have this on here, but I've created GIFs as well as full websites using different things with Canva. Now, you can upload your own fonts, which is great, especially if you have branded fonts. You want to make sure that you're keeping your branding very similar, and it also sets you apart. A lot of people are using Canva. So if you go to sites like DaFont, DAFONT, I think it's TS. I'll leave a link below because I have a video on how you actually find your font. But if you go to other sites, you can even get free fonts, upload them into Canva, and it sets you apart because you're not using the same style fonts that everyone else is using. Okay? Custom brand kit. That's going to include your graphics, your colors. Again, if you have somebody helping you and everything is set up properly, you just do this once, you set it and forget it. And we're going to actually go through that in one of our first few videos. Depending on the time, I may help you set that up in this video, but it may be something I have to move to the second one. Okay? Millions of stock photos. They did have the scheduler before. I know I liked it, but it wasn't as robust as I need it to. But if you have a social media platform like a manager, like Hootsuite or a Post Planner, or anything like that, this can replace that. So it says coming soon. They must have removed some of those. All right, so let's just sign up. I'm not going to go through all of these questions, but I just want to show you a couple of things outside of Canva. I'm going to go ahead and try the free 30 days. Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to sign up with my Google account. So let me pause this. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to jump into some of the tools that people never talk about. These are hidden gems that you can use with Canva. So the templates is one thing that everybody knows about, but one of the things that I like is when you click on See All, this gives you a better way to review the templates and see how things are being used. I mean, it's really dedicated to actually showing you everything they have, and it's a great way to look through some of the things they have. So the other thing about this is you can search. And again, I haven't signed up yet, but let's just say, I don't know, infographic, even though it's right there. Okay. Notice there's infographics and infographic resumes. I'm going to use that. You can look through them and you can use this template from here. So it gives you a better way to kind of navigate and look at all of them at one time. A lot of people don't know you can do this, but it's just really much easier to view in this large screen rather than the screen that you usually see. Now I'm all the way at the bottom. Notice that there's other resume templates, there's different categories. Again, all of these tools are available to you. And if you look at the bottom here, there's a couple of features that they talk about to photo editing, printing, graphs, which are great. But one of the things that people don't look at are these resources. They have font combinations, photo editors, a color wheel, and palette generator. So when you're working on your branding, this is a great way to get started and get help instead of you just picking colors or figuring out stuff. Logo makers, colors, design size guides, of course, support. Teachers, there's teacher materials here and different design ideas. But again, there's a lot of information and a lot of tools just by going to their site and looking here. Okay. All right. So I will also leave a link to that below so you can see where these are. There's also Design School. It's really great. I'm going to go ahead and sign up. Okay. And actually, let's go back one so I can make sure I'm signing up for the Pro version. Home. There we go. Now, when you first start, I would suggest that you select what type of business that you start out with. This is because it's going to recommend designs for you. So I am a small business, right? I'm going to go ahead and try Canva Pro for free for 30 days. Now, I would highly suggest doing annual, but I'm probably going to do this. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do this on my existing account or do it here where I'm showing you guys everything. So one thing to note is if you select the drop down, you can choose PayPal if you're used to using your business expenses or paying for business. With PayPal, you can actually use PayPal to purchase. Okay, so as you can see, I've already signed up and it's going to tell me what's popular for small businesses. Although going with what's popular is probably great, I also want to be a little bit different and not look like every other Canva design. So I want to just kind of explore on my own. So for now, though, let's go ahead and just talk about the basics of how to start this way. Let's start with just an Instagram post. My goal here is just to show you the canvas and how this is set up. Okay. Now, notice in 2020, they've added a lot. So over here, you're going to have some of your options for photos, elements, text, music, video, background, uploads, folders, and there's a lot more here, concentrating just on navigation for right now. All right. So each time you select something, it's going to come up. The other thing that you're going to want to notice is a couple of items at the bottom here, how to make this larger on your screen. Again, we'll go through all of this, how to get help. There's several different ways. Notice that there's guides, fun tutorials, billing, if you have problems, reporting issues. We'll talk about this canvas in a little bit. In your top right is where you're going to actually update your name of whatever you're creating, share items, download, and these are all of the options that we will come back to for actually using Canva. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and name this because we're not going to actually get into this yet. My first creation. Okay. I'm going to hit enter. It saves it automatically. Now, what you're going to do is at the top on the left, you'll see when it's saved. Again, we'll come back here. For now, I'm going to go up to the menu where it says home and go back to what you'll normally see as you log in and try items. Okay, let's go over home. Again, when you log in and you don't have that pop-up, this is what's going to come up. Again, just concentrating on navigation for now and then jumping in just a little bit. This is how you switch and actually access some of your account settings, referring friends, getting help, where you start a design, all of your menus as far as updating like your photos, print, adding apps, all of that. A couple of things that I want to point out. I always set up my graphic design apps before I get started. So what that means is I upload my fonts, I upload my graphics, I upload my anything. I upload all of my colors. I set that up first. So I would definitely start going here first before you jump into creating your design. Spend some time really uploading everything. So when you start your design stuff, you're in a space where you're really able to design and you're not frustrated trying to find your logos and your colors and your your stock images. Do that in advance and then go ahead and upload everything here. Again, I'll show you how to do that. Okay. Now, a couple of things about this navigation. Of course, you can create a design. It gives you a lot of the designs. You can choose the arrow to look at more. This is the design that I've already created. Keep in mind that as you navigate, there's usually 3 dots that you can make copies. Once you create your folders, you'll have here. You could also share items, comment. Now, I know a lot of people go through and look at flyers, Instagram posts, and this and that. I'm going to teach you one trick, okay? Go all the way to the top. I'm going to go slowly because I know it could make some people dizzy. If I search here for a specific design, notice as I just clicked on it, I can scroll through and it gives you suggested items. You can create custom dimensions. That's when you already know, like if you have a Facebook banner or if you're creating something for school or an invitation and you already have the dimensions, you can actually put in custom dimensions here or over here on the side. So what I would do is say something like Instagram story. Okay. Now it gives you a bunch of templates here. Again, always look at the 3 dots. If I click on the 3 dots, I can actually, and let me do that a little bit slower because this is probably pretty fast. Is this the one I clicked on? Yep, 3 dots. Now, not only do you get one design, remember, if you're thinking about branding, you're going to want to keep things very cohesive. This actually shows you a preview of each of the designs that go along with this story, because usually when you do stories on Instagram, you do multiple posts. So before even using the template, you can actually click on 3 dots and it will tell you if there's others that look like this or if you have to look at some other items. So these are tags. Tags help you find things, not only on Instagram, but think of them kind of like hashtags. It brings groups of things together. So maybe you're looking for something similar to this and you like this one, you can use this template, but you can also look at black and white, interactive, things like that to find other things that are very similar and or to find things that match. In the past, I've been able to find more designs by specific designers. And so if I can find a way to do that with this newer version, I'll go ahead and show you in some of the following videos. But again, pay attention to some of the designers that you really, really like. All right, a couple of additional navigation tricks. I'm going to go right back home. And instead of searching up here for Instagram stories, notice there's a lot of stuff down here. So I'm just going to do Control F on my PC. I believe it's Command F on Mac. And I can just type Instagram, and it just came up, stories. And I would just start typing slowly. This number tells you how many come up. So let's just say Instagram. And since there's 2, I can use my arrows to kind of get there quicker. The reason I'm telling you that is because you don't always want to scroll all the way down to figure out what you want. And it's not always in order. In fact, this is not in order. So I want to make sure that you actually see exactly what you want quickly. Again, I just did Control F. All right, I'm going to go back to home. And so on my keyboard, I'm going to press Control Home to jump back home. Now, this is part of a series of training. So I'm going to go over a lot of advanced things, but let's go over the basics now. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this item and I'm going to start a new design. Now, I suggest if you are a new person to graphic design to just use their templates. Use their templates. They're there for a reason. So just another way to, let's say Instagram. Another way to start out is in the top left-hand corner. Again, just like searching in the middle. This time, instead of choosing my graphic ahead of time, I'm not necessarily sure what I want. So I just selected Instagram story, Instagram post, and this is going to give me all of the Instagram posts. And I'm able to now search through to see which ones that I like. Okay. Now, this is totally my style, but let's go ahead and minimize this or hide it. Notice there's a shortcut key, Control plus your slash, and now I can concentrate again on navigation. So those were our templates. You can also search, and I can say, let's just say pink, although you can change the color. I don't know if this is going to come up. There you go, right? Very cute. The next thing you're going to want to do is look at your photos. These are actually stock photos. Now, if you're pro account, notice that it shows which ones are pro. If you're in a free account, it will show you which ones cost and you can purchase them individually. Your elements are going to be things like your lines, your graphs, your anything that you're going to actually place on there. I'm actually going to place something now. I'm going to place two things. I'm going to actually just click it, right? I'm going to delete that. I'm going to highlight and delete it. And then this time I'm going to drag it. So when you drag it, you can actually place it where you want. If you click it, it's going to do exactly what it wants. Let's scroll through here real quick, and then we're going to come back to some of the other elements. This element is used to actually put photos inside. So they're called frames. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and delete it. Notice you can see more frames by just clicking on See All. So for those of you that get where you see where people have an image inside of a computer, this is how they do it. Now, if you're looking to do like transparent things or a video, if you're looking to do a video, you can make this transparent, design around it, and then put videos in the background. Again, that's a little bit more advanced, so we can go through that. If you want me to show you how to do that, I can do that in a future video. Notice that these frames now, for some reason, they didn't have these in this section before, but these frames, you can also use these to create, like if you want glitter, and you can actually drop in glitter backgrounds and things like that. Again, we can go through some of these items in the future. Just wanted to kind of show you exactly what's there. Now, as we're going down here, there's lines, there's different items here. Again, what you're going to want to do is look for exactly what you want, and you can click on See All. Notice there's filters in the top right-hand corner. One of the things that I want to make sure that I do here in these trainings is they're going to be a little bit longer, but I'm going to show you things that are not so obvious that you're probably skipping. Notice there's free, pro, and premium. So if you have to filter for just free items, and in this case, I'm a pro, I can click on pro, but you can actually filter so you're not distracted by things that don't matter, okay? You can filter by color, or even if you want static or animated. Static is going to mean it doesn't move. Animated means it moves. I'm just going to show you some animated ones. So these are when you're creating like eye-catching items. I really like that. Think Instagram stories, things like that. All right, let's go ahead and change that back to static. And actually, I don't want any of those on, so let's clear all. I want everything here. And you can actually search, but for now, we're going to move on. And actually, let me just bring up something. Don't worry about the colors. I'll teach you how to change colors, but if you notice, everything that you have here, at the top, you'll be able to change the color. So don't concentrate so much on the colors of items rather than the elements that you actually need, and you will brand them. Okay, text boxes. What's great is you have these text boxes. If you find that there are certain types of text that you're using frequently, you can edit your fonts and then also set up your actual headings that you use over and over again. Notice this is also when you pull up your logos, your brand colors, all of that. Okay, for now, I'm actually going to go back. Now there's a home button, but if I right click, and actually it's not letting me do that anymore. Aha, tricked me. Okay, so I'm going to go to all your designs. These are the things that I've been kind of testing right now. And I didn't really start a design, so you'll notice that's not here, but these other ones I was kind of testing out in the background. I'm going to go ahead and create the design again. I'm going to go back to Instagram story. Again, we're just concentrating on kind of how to navigate and what's available. And actually, I'm sorry, I was doing an Instagram post. So let's say Instagram post. I want to do an Instagram story so bad. I know that's why it's taking me there. It knows what one wants. All right. Music. Again, this is going to be for moving text or if you want to create videos. So those are in here. Notice there's different types. I love that they have track music in here. But again, you can you can find your different elements, and then what you're going to do is click on See All to see additional ones. There's also stock videos. Make sure to hover over to see if they're free, pro, etc. You can also find out at times, and it doesn't. I was going to say you can find the names of the videos if they've named them. It looks like they haven't named these, but they do have keywords. So if you have something here and you like it, I can just say Taylor. This is what group it's in. And notice it has other ones that are associated with it. It's the same as actually searching. I don't know why the search doesn't always come up here, but now it's up here. I can say something like food, right? Now, here's my ultimate test. African American, oops, okay. I would say African American woman. And I look, so this is African American men. So of course that's not the same. These are not African American women. So it doesn't look like they have it set up correctly. So I'm actually going to click this and click the three dots and see what this is under. So notice that this might be, so it's under people, adults. It might be something that says Black woman or what? There it goes, African American ethnicity. So I'm going to click that. Now it's going to show me more of these, and maybe I add a couple keywords. But again, if you can't find a lot of what you're looking for, what you're going to want to do is find out which tags the author used and just click on them. Think of them just like hashtags. And what you're going to do is it will open up a whole new world of things. There's an African American woman. Now I'm using African American woman, but think about this. This can be if you're looking for food or restaurants and you're just not coming up with anything, exercising, I don't know. What you want to do is find one picture that looks almost like what you want, or one video. This works with images, music, videos also, even elements, each of these items, right? What you're going to do is find one that meets what you're doing, and then what you're going to do is look at the tags and see if you can find more. What used to happen is you can actually find the actual artist also, but it looks like they've removed that in certain areas. Okay, here are the backgrounds. Keep in mind that you want to use your brand colors, so you're going to want to set those up first, right? These are the default colors, but you want your brand colors. So we're going to go through that as we're setting this up. But here, you can use these for backgrounds of your images, right? Looks really, really nice. Same things. You're going to want to search or use keywords, right? And there you go. View more by marketplace designers. That's what I've been looking for. There's other types of designers here, but either way, you have your background that will change as you click. And again, you can use special effects, some of the new things. Each time you click on these, look for the items up here once you use them. And you'll see that as we go through to adjust them the way you want. Again, a lot of people are probably going to be using Canva, so you want to, kind of change it a little bit. This one picture can, depending on where you crop it, and we'll talk about cropping a little bit later and probably in another video. And actually, we'll probably go through that in this video. But when you crop it, the way you crop it changes the entire look of this image. So play around with it a little bit, okay? Also flipping it, different things like that, okay? Uploads. This is going to be the very next thing that we do. We're actually going to set up our images and our videos here in Canva. But here is where I would suggest you kind of start. Start uploading, and actually we'll go through a series of things. So I'll give you the order in which to start. But you're going to upload your images, your videos. You're going to set up your folders. This is where you select photos of yourself, your stock images. You can pull stock images from here or your own stock images that you've purchased in the past, but have them all ready for your design. Okay? The next one is your folders. And again, this is where you really start creating different items like your folders and organizing your folders and your stock images and everything else. I'm going to go down to more. Notice all the places that you can search and grab from and connect to and save to, right? So notice that you can pull things in from your box if you're using Box. If you have some of these other items like Typeform, I know a lot of people use that. You can connect anything. So I'm going to connect my Google Drive just so we can get started. So I'm going to click on Google Drive here and connect. Now, I have a whole entire folder on my Google Drive for my company that has my stock images and stock video that I've purchased. I also may have my fonts. So it has everything here, right? And I have all of my folders, and it doesn't look like all of my folders. I have a lot of folders, right? So I have a lot of folders here, and I can pull in my Google Drive. And now you'll see on the left-hand side, I have my Google Drive. I can always click on X if I want to remove that. So it's a great way to, let's go ahead and go to more. I would start connecting to a lot of things that you have here. So you have your YouTube, you can search that. But let's look at, and I'm going to close this for now, your Facebook. So if you have Facebook, let's go ahead and connect to that. Photos on your Facebook that you want to redesign. Go ahead and set this up now so when you need it, it's already set up. Just to let you know, Pixabay is a great place for not only photos, but also videos that are stock images. People don't know that you can have videos. So I'm going to go ahead and connect that as well. And those are all free stock images. And I'm not going to walk you through each one. I'm just going to go ahead and set these up now, and then I'll come back. All right, so I have all of these uploaded, which means I will try to create videos on how to use each of them. The only thing I do not like about this is I cannot change the order of this. So if I figure out how to do it, I will show you guys. If you know how to do it, let me know. But most of the things I'm trying is just not working. So let's go ahead and explore. Now that I have everything set up, the next thing that I'm going to do actually before I create my design is I'm going to start setting up my account and folders and all of that stuff. So I know you guys want to jump into the design and all of that, but this is all about setting up and getting used to Canva as a whole with this new Pro 2020. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back home. Remember, I always come back home here, and I'm actually going to go to my account settings. Notice that you have your name, so your username, which is support at Learned It Online, that pulled from my Google. So I'm just going to call it Learned It Online. You can change your password, but here's the thing. This is how you connect and deactivate everything that you need. But I want to go to show you a couple of things. As you order things for print, you can actually use your print orders here. And one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to personalize your account. I'll show you how to do that. Now, I'm going to go down here, select my profession, marketing and communications. There you go. And click on save. One other thing I want to show you, if you're signing to multiple devices or you have issues, you can also sign out from multiple places at one time. Okay, one more thing that I want to show you before we leave this area is you are going to want to update your image here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and pick, I think I have a picture here, but I'm just going to go ahead and upload my image. I would upload an image of yourself or a logo or whatever. I'm not sure if I have, all right, there it goes. It's uploading now. While I tell you that, if you are someone who gets referrals or people ask you a lot about apps, I would suggest that you sign up for their affiliate or referral program there. All right. Next thing I suggest you do is you go ahead and create your brand kit. So what you're going to do is upload all of your brand logos. Okay, and rather than make you all watch this, what I'm going to do is I'll upload these off camera. But what I want to show you here are your brand colors. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and actually add my brand colors. But what I'm going to want to do is title this palette. So for instance, for me, I have different brand colors for each of my separate brands. So you can actually add separate palettes here. So I clicked on plus. It's a little slow, but I'm going to go ahead and add in the hex number for 1D88 for my pink color. Now, if you don't have these hex numbers, these are actually what tells the computer exactly what your brand colors are. I would go ahead and use their color picker or some other apps, and I'll show you that in just a second. And actually, I already have a video on that, so go ahead and check out the video below. I'll leave the link below where you can pick out your brand colors. But when you get to this point, you're going to be wanting to just type in those hex numbers. Now, if you don't have brand colors, you can go ahead and select this also here, but I really suggest that you do this outside of the app. Again, I'm going to finish this off camera, but you would basically add all of your brand colors here, and then you can add separate palettes. So I can say Learned It Online, right? And have different palettes for different programs. This can be for my video creators. Yeah. But that's how you actually set up your brand colors. Now for fonts, you can actually upload not only your fonts, but also set up your default headings for each of your fonts. So each time I can say, every time I use heading 1, I want it to be, I'm just going to pick one. And you can actually edit the size and all of that. But in order to upload your own fonts, you're going to click on Upload Font. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and upload my fonts. I actually have them in this folder here. So I have a photo shoot one. Notice there's True Type font and Open Type font. If you see something else, like there's other font types that are for like Mac computers, they're going to look a little bit different. I think it might be TIFF or TFF or something. You're going to just look for your fonts that you extracted, and you are going to, and I think this is going to give me an error. I tried that at first. I'm going to look for the Rambler. These should be fine. So you can upload those. Now, I'm not going to focus too much on the file type. I'm uploading both, but this is all, I can't remember which one I did, so I'm going to do that anyway. But it's all tech talk. But basically, I'm uploading both just to make sure that they work. I can go in here and change them later. But all of my uploaded fonts will be here. Now I can change this from my main font. This means, remember when we were going through and picking our headings in our canvas, it actually allowed us to have default fonts, right? So I can either search for them here and set them up. So each time I can just drag over my default fonts, and notice there's also an uploaded font section that you'll be able to see when you're there. Now, I wouldn't select all scripts. I would do some that are serif, sans serif. I have a totally separate video that talks about the difference, but you want basically fonts that may be like this, that are easy to see, and then a few more that are a little fancy. We'll just put it that way. All right. Okay, the next thing that you're going to want to do during your setup is you're going to want to add your team members. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create a Team. I'm actually going to add my project manager. Okay, notice there's 3 different levels. If you want your project manager or someone on your team to be able to manage members, create designs and templates, and edit all of the brand items, you set them as an administrator. If you just want them to, and actually let's zoom in here, you just want them to design and create templates and edit your brand. So basically the difference here is you can add team members, okay? This one, they can create templates and edit your brand kit and invite other designers. So again, a project manager most likely want to be here as a template designer so they can handle other people that you bring into your team. So if you have someone from, say, Fiverr that you're going to invite, you don't want to have to deal with inviting them and setting them up. So you have your template designer, quote unquote, or your project manager handle that. Members you can share and all of that kind of stuff. But again, I'm going to set this here. I usually give Sean access to administrators, but for now, just for purposes of this, we'll leave it at template designers. Send invitations. Okay, and so once they invite, and actually I can go ahead and change that here, resend the invitation, cancel it, but I'm going to make her an administrator. And so once she accepts the invitation, then she can set up her profile there. All right, the next thing I'm going to want to do is create folders. And so these folders can be set up however you like. I'm just going to put some of my programs here. So I'm going to type Video Creators Camp, right? And then I can put share with your team members. I'm going to just put her email address since she hasn't accepted, and I'm knowing her, she probably will accept soon. Okay, so I have my folder there, and you would go through and create your additional folders depending on, so I can say social media posts. Some of the other items can view, can edit and share, and actually edit and share is a lot easier because, again, if you give people the right access, you don't want to give them too much access, but you want to give them access to everything they need so you don't have to consistently do everything yourself. Everybody on the team has their role and does that. Okay? Okay? And I'm actually going to do this off screen, and then I'll come back so you don't have to see this. For now, I just want to pick up on a couple of things. So as you upload items, they go here. But remember, you can actually start your organization here and upload all your stock images and then move them, which is what I'm going to do. Your logos are going to connect to that brand kit. So if you have already uploaded your logos here, it will actually connect to that folder here in your logos. I know I'm jumping around. As people share with you, they'll be here. And then different designs and templates that you like, you'll see here, anything you purchase. So just kind of pay attention. I love that your trash can, once you delete something, you can always come back and put it back or restore or even delete forever. Your trash can is also on your bottom left. Each of these are on the left-hand side. All right, I'm going to go ahead and upload a bunch of my stock images, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm going to show you to the extent of how I organize my stock images because I've uploaded them now, and I just want to give you an idea of how this looks. You don't have to go this far. Keep in mind that I have years of stock images that I've purchased and never used, and I've done a lot of graphic design. So I'm just going to show you my stock images. Notice I've broken this down to social media posts. Some of these things I need to go into further, but I literally worked in stock images, and then I created some that were to be organized. You can only upload up to 200 images per folder. And I'll leave a link below that gives you all the guidelines for renaming, sharing, all of that kind of thing. But notice I have them broken down similar to the elements that are in Canva. Frames, these are some of my beauty stock images, my doctor's office, people, textures, backgrounds and overlays, icons and symbols. In fact, let's go in here so you can see some of these. Now, again, a lot of these are going to be available, not these, but available in Canva. So you don't really need to do this, but I spent years purchasing things over the years that I may need later, and I know what I need, and these are actually things that I've purchased, so I want to make sure they're in here. I'm going to go back to stock images. So if I need them, they're already here, right? And since I've named them, and I can rename them, they'll be easier to find whether I use a search or if I just do Control F. I'm just going to put the word, let's say flower. I don't know if flower is in here. Let's say young. Okay. I know there's young business people. This is the wrong folder for it, so I'll move those. But I can actually find things and go through my files to see what I need when I'm using images. If I want to move it, I'm going to go ahead and move it to another folder, and this is going to be my people folder, and I can just move and reorganize. So even if you need to just upload your stock images all at once, then you can move them later. For me, I already had them organized into groups, so they were easier for me to just upload. And I can always find what I need if I do a search in here, right? All right, so we have a couple of different things here that we've set up, and now it's time to actually move into creating your graphics. Before you do that, I do want to tell you about how you can get some support from me from this. I have a group on Facebook called the Content Creators Club. I'll leave the link below, but all you have to do is search for Socially Nina in Facebook, and actually anywhere on the internet. If you search for Socially Nina, you'll be able to find me. But if you go over to groups, you'll see the groups that are public, and you're going to look for the Content Creators Club. If you join there, I can give you more help. Also, what we do in there is I post different days. For instance, there's lessons. You can post your TikToks, you can post your Instagram posts, you can post your blogs, your Pinterest things. I want you to actually share different information, share your content in here. So if you do create a video or anything from Canva, or if you've watched this and you want some more information or personal questions, go ahead and head over to my group. I do a lot of training in there. However, I also answer questions below. So,
Okay, how was that? Here's my thing. Make sure you set this up properly, because the next couple of videos that we're going to talk about, we're going to dive deep into creating your brand boards. We're going to be talking about creating your logos, creating social media graphics, creating all kinds of things. But you have to get this first part down. Now, the other part is the tips and tricks that I showed you in this video are really gonna help you pull together your graphics in a way that make it easy to have the same cohesive branding. Again, we'll talk about that more in the next video, but your brand kit is where to start. And since you already have everything set up, the next few videos will be a lot easier for you. If you have any questions, and if you want more videos like this, comment below or join my group, the Content Creators Club on Facebook. Ciao for now.